And so we have yet another week and another lawsuit against the NFL. Now, do not confuse this litigation with the civil lawsuits against Deshaun Watson, which is down to one. The lawsuit involving John Gruden, he's trying to keep that out of arbitration. The Brian Flores lawsuit, the Steelers assistant who is suing everybody. They're all racist in the NFL. This is different. All right, this is different. Now, if you've not heard, maybe not, let me give you the truncated details on this lawsuit. You remember a former NFL linebacker, Junior Galette? You remember him? Probably not. Nothing really memorable. He wasn't exactly poetry in motion. We don't know defensive players. That's how it works. There's like 5 or 6 defensive players in any given season we know. And so Junior Galette filed a humongous lawsuit, tremendous lawsuit here against the NFL, Roger Goodell, the Players Association. So he's suing both sides, the players, and he's also suing the NFL. He's got Roger Goodell. He's suing the Seattle Seahawks, the LA Rams, the Raiders, the Browns, the Chiefs, the Panthers, and the team formerly known as the Washington Redskins, alleging that he has been blackballed from the NFL. And how much moolah does Junior Galette want? He is seeking $300 million in damages. Why stop there? You should have done $300 billion in damages. Why stop at $300 million? Now, in a filing that was sent to the U.S. District Court, this is in Florida, the Southern District of Florida, so not Manhattan. They went to Florida. He did with this lawsuit. Galette said that he has been blocked from rejoining the NFL, just like Colin Kaepernick, and put on the blacklist by the NFL owners, the lawsuit reads. So let us discuss as we work our way through this. And I've read as much as I can what is available from the lawsuit. So let us discuss the question. Does Junior Galette have a case against the NFL? We know he's suing, but does he have a case? I've got Christmas, psychotherapy, and unprocessed. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make palm trees and sun and fun is what we're going to make. Now, to kick off, Junior Galette he's going to pull a muscle with this lawsuit. Reading what I read from the lawsuit, I read the whole thing, but reading from what I read here, he's going to pull a muscle from reaching. The damage will be done here. Now, I give him extra credit. My grandfather, may he rest in peace, if he was aware of the story, he would say, now that's a lot of chutzpah. That's a whole lot of chutzpah. And it certainly is. It is a reminder, this lawsuit by Junior Galette is a reminder of how the legal system is set up in the United States. You can sue anyone for any reason at any time, as long as your complaint meets a certain level of criteria, a certain threshold, and you have some evidence, you can virtually sue for anything. And that's where the term frivolous comes into play, that frivolous lawsuit. Now, based on, again, what we know about this lawsuit from Junior Galette, this is a Christmas tale, as in Lloyd Christmas in Dumb and Dumber, right? Remember that famous scene there? It was told that you got a 1 in a million chance of dating the lady there, and he says, so you're telling me there's a chance? Great line. Jim Carrey, check it out, old movie. So there's a chance that this guy Galette gets a sympathetic judge, and he finds some sympathetic jurors who feel bad for him. But outside of that, right? I mean, what else is there? Is there a chance that the macaroni monster takes you to another dimension? Yeah, I guess there's a chance that happens too. And so you're telling me there's a chance. Now, further, page 2. Why is Junior Galette going with the nuclear option? Well, some would say he's detached from reality. He's reached his breaking point. He appears to have nothing else to do other than play football in life, which is kind of sad. He's a football player, and that's it. I mean, go out and get something else going on. Get another job. You're a young guy. You got stuff going on. Apparently, you don't have stuff going on. And so the bigger issue here, though, is that it appears that Junior Galette has been brainwashed, based on what I read, into believing that the world is out to get him. And we all know people like this. And maybe I'm reading it wrong, but it seems he's been indoctrinated into believing that there is a tremendous amount of racial venom, and it's directed at him in the NFL. And it's not like he hides it. I mean, it's like the worst case. It's like hiding in the middle of the desert with no hills, no mountains, nothing, and you're wearing like a bright-colored outfit in the middle of the desert. So let me take you back in the Wayback Machine. So let's go back now to 2018. Barely remember. 2018, pre-COVID, pre-this lawsuit, that lawsuit. So Junior Galette posted on social media the following statement. He said, "I swear to God, I'm not going to play for no slave deals. I'll die," he said, "before I play for more slave deals." And he made that statement after he was offered a contract that he determined was smaller than a white teammate, a guy on the Washington Redskins at the time named Trent Murphy. And so he lost his lunch, Galette. And in the lawsuit, he alleges that since that particular post on social media, when he talked about not playing for any more slave deals, ever since then, for some reason, he's been unable to find a job and fair compensation in the NFL. Things that make you go, is there a correlation causation thing going on here? Now, I am not a psychologist, but I can certainly give amateur analysis behind the microphones. It sounds to me, in my opinion, like a textbook case of what's known as paranoia. All right, so I recommend some psychotherapy and maybe meds, right? If you're preoccupied with thoughts that the world is out to get you, and that's what it sounds like here, and you think everyone is always talking about you behind your back, spoiler alert, that's not happening. Okay, it's not. It's not happening to me. It's not happening to you. It's not happening. All right, now, parting shot. What will the NFL's response be to Junior Galette? So my working theory on this is that they'll just bury this lawsuit with facts, if it even goes forward. Junior is suing because essentially his feelings were hurt, that he has a sense of entitlement. He believes he's entitled to X amount of dollars, and he's entitled to the contract he didn't get. Now, most people, I know that's changing these days because a lot of people have gone soft in recent years, but the way I was raised, you're not entitled to anything. That I don't deserve anything. I don't deserve special treatment. Neither do you. And I also believe that if you are the person that says you deserve special treatment, you're going with entitlement, you have become toxic. And you have then cost yourself some money down the line, future earnings. Now, Junior Galette, the edge rusher here, he hit the daily double. Multiple whammies. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, whammy. Not only did this cat paint the NFL as being part of the racist underworld, he also was damaged goods. Because I went back and looked, and Galette, according to what I was able to read here, he had torn his Achilles and then came back the next year and tore the other Achilles, back to back and belly to belly. He was also closing in on the age of 30. So if you are around the age of 30, you have had back-to-back torn Achilles tendons, and you've also sent out a message calling the league that you're trying to get a job racist, essentially, because slave contract. I'm gonna think you're not getting that bonanza. You're not getting that jackpot, that windfall, because you've got what's known as carry-on baggage, and you're getting close to the end of your athletic prime. Your body is broken. And I'm no expert on NFL contracts, but it seems to me, based on paying attention casually, that if a player gets to around the age of 30 and they have a pattern of injury, that player will have to sign for a very small base salary and a prove-it contract where they get a lot of incentives. That there's no one in the NFL acting like the Live Golf Tour where they're giving guaranteed money to broken down people like Live is. And so that's the unvarnished truth here. That's we used to have a caller named Real Talk. That's the real talk. Imagine if I sued every sports talk radio station because they didn't give me the morning show. But I'm entitled to the morning show. I deserve it. Why couldn't I do that? I could sue anybody I want. But I'm entitled. Unfortunately, I realize it's not how the world works, which is a problem, but not a problem for a lot of people who are suing, and crying and pounding the table and on and on and on.